What's up, guys? Today I want to show you something really cool. One of my favorite type of trucks, man. I love cabovers. I know you do too. They're not that prevalent out there in the world today, and there's a reason why. So I thought to myself, why is that? I looked into the history of it and I found out some really cool things. So today I want to show you a little bit of this truck, which you can see right here. And I want to give you a little bit of a history. Might be slightly corny, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought myself a really good narrator, but we'll see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoy it. Anyways, look at this thing. This thing is magical, man. I love it so much, so much. Let's go for a ride and all right, give me your thoughts in the comments below.
Drive safe.
I've driven a lot of trucks in the sim world, but every once in a while I come across one that feels like it came with a story. And the Peterbilt 362 is one of those trucks. It's big, boxy, it's brutal, and unforgettable. So today, I'm going to slow things down as we drive around. No sim mod reviews, no sponsors, no gear reviews, no hype. Just a simple, personal story. The real story behind one of the most iconic trucks in the American history. Let's take a minute to remember a machine that changed the way we hauled freight, and the kind of people it took to drive one. This is the story of the Peterbilt 362. Back in the day, we're talking about mid-1900s, trucking had a problem, and that problem was length. Federal laws limited the total length of your truck and trailer combined. So if your truck had a big long nose, that meant a short trailer. And that means less freight. And less freight means less money. So truck makers said, you know what, let's fix that. What if we just put the cab on top of the engine? That gave you a much shorter truck, clearly. And now you could pull a longer trailer and still stay within the law. That's how the cabover was born. It wasn't comfortable, it wasn't smooth, but it worked. Through the 60s and the 70s, cabovers were everywhere. Freightliner, Kenworth, International, and then Peterbilt. Before the 362 came along, Peterbilt had the 352, a classic rig in its own right. But in 1981, they brought out the 362, and you could tell right away this was a new generation. The cab was taller, the lines were sharper, the face was all business. Square headlights, big flat grille, and of course, that three-piece windshield. It was weird, yeah. But it became one of the most recognizable features on the road. Not to mention those three wipers. Under the cab, you had real power. Cummins, Detroit, Cat, all the big names. You could spec it anywhere from around 250 horsepower to over 400, depending on what you needed. Sleeper or day cab, short or full-length long hauler. The 362 was built for options. Inside the cab, it was functional, though not flashy, just built to work. Big wheel, hard edges, toggle switches that clicked, and it had enough space to live in if you had to. But driving a 362 was an experience. First off, you sat way up high, basically on top of the engine and the axle. You felt every bump, every vibration. But you know what? It felt like you were part of the machine. And while the view was incredible, the ride was not. You had to work for every mile. Climbing in wasn't exactly elegant either. There was a ladder and a kind of a sideways twist to get in. Once you were up there, it felt like a fortress. And when it came time to work on it, oh man, no hood to open. You tilted the entire cab forward. It made repairs easy, but if you left something on the dash before you tilted it, oh man, you were out of luck. So with all that said, what happened? Why don't we see trucks like the 362 anymore? In the late 1980s, US length laws were changed. They stopped counting the truck plus the trailer as one number. Now it was just the trailer that mattered. That meant you could go back to long-nose conventionals and still haul full-length trailers. And let's be honest, conventional trucks were just easier. Better ride, better safety, easier access. You didn't have to climb up over a scaffold just to get in. So over time, cabovers just faded away. But Peterbilt kept the 362 alive into the early 2000s, mostly for special industries. But by 2005, the last 362 rolled off the line. That was it. And yet, here we are, still talking about it. Because the 362 didn't just vanish. It stuck around in truck shows, in restorations, and in the stories drivers still tell. You see them fully rebuilt, chrome polished, air horns, lights everywhere. It's a truck people respect. Not because it was easy, but because it wasn't. The 362 was the kind of truck that made you pay attention. You had to know what you were doing. You had to feel the road, and that's what makes it so loved today. So yeah, the Peterbilt 362. Loud, hot, heavy, but built for a purpose. And in its own way, beautiful. Not just a machine, it's a reminder of what trucking used to be. And maybe what some of us still wish it was. Listen, I know we did things kind of different today, so thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next haul. Love you guys.